And so game week 28 has drawn to a close, and inevitably it's another big red arrow for your old pal, the FPL Nightmare. Inevitably, the gamble on the wild card has blown up in my face. Inevitably, it has all gone wrong yet again. And honest to God, I am absolutely, it's hard. It's hard because you put your time in, you put the effort in, you do the planning, and week after week after week, you just get punished for it. You get kicked in the teeth. And I know you're thinking, why aren't you in the shed, Nightmare? And I'll tell you for why, because I just don't have it in me. I do not have it in me tonight. I'm finding this entire season so draining. And like this game that we love, which does not love us back. It's hard. It is a hard game. We always have known it's a hard game. But week after week, it just gets harder and harder. And I just feel like more and more of a tit. And like we've got this midweek deadline coming, and I'm thinking, come on, Nightmare, man, get your team selection video out. Show the world how you're going to turn it around. Show them all how you can find the fight back. And I feel like the problem is, I'm not playing the game. I'm playing the field. I'm playing the man. And it's just not working. Like, I'm not even playing the man. I'm playing this mythical opponent I've created in my head like it's WrestleMania. Like I'm, Stone Cold Steve Austin strutting down the aisle ready to hit the stunner on anyone in front of us. Or Rey Mysterio, ready to hit them with a high-flying move nobody's ever seen before in the world of FPL, Christopher Archer. Oh, I'm going to ignore Van Dijk because I can get Christopher Archer. And it just feels stupider. And it's so hard because, 2 weeks ago, I took the gamble. I played the wild card. And part of it was because I didn't like the team I had. Part of it is because I thought, I've got these 5 game weeks, and then everyone's going to wildcard into very similar teams. Everyone's going to get the same points as everybody else every week, and that's going to be my chance to rise up that field gone. Well, I thought a wildcard, hit them with the wildcard. Nobody will expect it. And you can get all these players, these difference makers. You can spike some hauls, and you can get yourself in a position. And maybe I'll lose ground, a little bit of ground around the wild card. Maybe I won't have the optimal team for Bench Boost 33, the big double game week. Maybe I'll lose 20 points there, but maybe I'll have gained 70 points in the meantime. Well, as it turns out, all I'm doing is losing points in the meantime, and there's still the double game week punishment to come, and it's hard. And it's hard, and it's about me. It's a reflection of me, of who I am, who I think I am, who I actually am. I mean, this goes beyond FPL, really. This is teenage me all over again. And I maybe even mentioned before in streams or in videos, I'm not even sure, about how I was a teenager and I was really struggling. I think maybe Gary's interview, and I was struggling, and I was trying to be this kind of spontaneous kind of character, this live by my own rules, live on the edge kind of guy, take each day as it comes. And I ended up in the mental hospital, and that's where I was forced to accept I am someone that needs structure, that needs routine. Otherwise, my mental health is just not going to be good. And I'm not saying that, my mental health's bad. I'm just, although what I will say is that, 2/7 of every week for the last few months have just been horrible. I'm not enjoying this game at all. I don't even really enjoy the strategy anymore because I've lost all confidence in myself. But, the thing that I realised about myself when I was in that mental hospital, when the walls closed in, when the doors were locked, the thing I found out about myself is I'm someone who needs structure. I need routine. And I've built routine into my life. I've built that structure into my life. I live quite a simple life nowadays, you know, and FPL has been a fantastic part of maintaining my mental health for a long, long time. It gives me structure, gives me routine, you know. There's a formula for each week of my life, you know, partly based around FPL. I'm saying it all is FPL. It's just, it plays its part. You build to the deadline, you see what happens, you strategize for a few days, you pick your players, and then you take it from there. And the problem I have this season is that it's just not working. The fire in me is dying. And it's hard. And this isn't a big, oh, he's going to quit YouTube, oh, he's going to quit FPL, you know. They don't call me Steve-O, like, you know, but there's nothing wrong with, you can see why. It is hard, like, you know, I've never had a season like this, which has just been so consistently poor, so consistently just depressing. It's a depressing season, you know. And like the kind of, even the excitement of getting a good video because of the misery, it's like, at the end of the day, it's just miserable, you know, and you can keep taking this chicken shit that I have had for 6 months now and turning it into chicken salad as best you can. But eventually it's just like the taste of shit filters through. And it's not a nice taste. And that is what my FPL team is like. That's what my FPL season has been like, you know. And to go back to what I was saying, you know, the structure, the routine, part of the reason it took me so long to realise that, to accept that about myself, is because I was trying to impress people, you know, hanging around with people I respected, still respect them, still love them, my mates. Jock and Jeeves, shout out to Jock and Jeeves, even if he won't answer his phone. He's going through a hard time himself at the minute. You know, and I'm trying to impress these people, and you don't think, you know, you don't think being solid is the way to entertain someone like Jock and Jeeves, you know, rock and roll star. You know, put any instrument in front of him, he'll be playing a song off it within, you know, 10 minutes. You put any song in front of him, he'll be playing it back to you with his like savant ability. And you know, you're going to the pub all the time, you're going to the club, you're touring, and you're in the band, you're the roadie for this bloke who's your best mate, but also someone you really respect and really want to impress. And then like, I ended up in the hospital, and it's like, look, you know, you're my best pal, but I can't live this way. It's not who I am. You know, it might be who I want to be, but it's not who I am. And I'm feeling a bit like that with FPL right now. I'm feeling a bit like, I don't even know. I'm feeling like I'm trying to impress people. You know, it's not lost on me that this last year, a year ago, it's when I really started streaming with people. And a year ago, you know, I was top 10K, top 20K. I was up there, and I'd been doing the YouTube and my own videos, and I was up there, and I was fighting for this title. And then, like, I've started streaming with people, and I'm not blaming them. It's not their fault. All they're doing is giving me advice. All they're doing is trying to help, or take the mickey, but help by taking the mickey, you know. You don't become worse streaming with someone as respected, as good at the game as Nick Trigger, 35th place finish, 4 top 1K finishes, consistently in the top 50K. You know, he's a veteran, and he knows how the game works. You don't become worse by streaming with Nick Trigger, except I do. You know? 2-hour conversation with FPL Fran, you know, he's what, top 10K, top 5K, whatever he is now. You don't get worse from having a 2-hour conversation with FPL Fran, except I do. You know, Nick Trigger, the conversation, the D unit. You know, he's a maverick himself. Talk to him every day. Talk to Trigger every day. You don't get worse by talking to these people every day, except I have. Big conversation with Praz on Friday, coming out for you on Thursday. Wonderful conversation. Will definitely help me become a better FPL manager. But, you know, am I trying to impress him? Or am I trying to be a better... I say I want to be a better manager. I say I want to learn. But do I just want to impress people? Am I just trying to look clever? You know, we talk about humility. Me and Praz, we do talk about humility a little bit. Needing to have a bit of humility in the game, and I just don't. Maybe what the problem is arrogance. Maybe I'm trying to reinvent the wheel, you know, something, I don't know. I mean, it's just so punishing. Like, it's so hard, you know. 2 weeks ago, your wild card, and Dean Henderson saves that penalty, and it's a 25-point swing, 22-point swing, 25 points off those two defenders you sold, who have just conceded 3 goals to Burnley. And it's brutal, but you think it's all right. You've got the wild card, you've got the team, it's going to turn it around for you. And then what happens? It doesn't. 300,000 red arrow on your wild card. And then you think, well, it's all right because you've got the team. You've got the team, lad. Game week 28, that's when you're going to get it done. That is when the business of FPL is going to kick into overdrive. Except, you know, you think, I want to take the hit. I want to do the hit, get Nico O'Reilly, Virgil van Dijk and Harry Wilson in, Palmer, Arja, Mukiele out. The thinking seems sound, but it's obviously a mistake. Rectify it. And you think, well, I was, you know, I don't do it. I bring in Mo Salah. Mo Salah hadn't scored for 10 game weeks. Mo Salah had been underwhelming all season. A lot of people are thinking of bringing him in because Haaland might be injured. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not seeing the state I'm in. You're not seeing the season I'm having. You're following in my footsteps. Bloody hell. You know, Trout, me man, Trout. What a conversation I had with him. You know, he said he'd captain Salah. I said to him, oh, it makes me feel a lot better knowing someone like you has done the same move I have. He said, knowing you, Nightmare, have done this move makes me feel infinitely worse. And he was right to feel that way. I am the reverse Midas touch this season, and it's draining. Because I'm trying my best. I am trying my absolute best. And I know some people think I'm tanking it for the views. I'm picking dramatic videos over the ranks, and I'm not. That's the worst thing. I'm not. I could just say I'm trying to do things differently. I'm not. I'm just trying to play the game as best I can. I didn't take the hit. Was it because Nick Trigger told me not to? Was it because Praz said it probably isn't a good idea? What Praz said off camera, you had a plan when you wildcarded. What's changed in a week? And what had changed, apart from I'd got a red arrow, you know? But there was something telling me to take that move, and it's like, what was it? 1 point Arja, 2 points from Hill, who started, 4 points from Captain Salah. Could have had 7 from Virgil, 6 from O'Reilly, 13 from Harry Wilson. And instead of my captain getting 2 points, I would have had Fernandes captain another 13 points. These swings are brutal, absolutely brutal. You know, it's a bit like people say it's variance, and that this is just an extreme example of how things can go when your luck's not in. I am the extreme example. And I don't know, maybe I am. Maybe this is just all bad luck and misfortune. You know, I play it safe, and the wild move is rewarded. I do the wild move, and the cautious play is rewarded. I take chances that don't work. I don't take the chance, and I should have done. It's just like my head is gone. It reminds me of this old Darren Brown program, and like he was like, "Oh, I bet you I can toss a coin and get 10 heads in a row," and then it shows him head, etc. up to 10, and you think, "Oh bloody hell, how's he done that? How's he managed that?" And then he goes, "This is just perception. This is just a fraction, and all you're seeing is what I'm showing you." And then it zoomed out and it showed like a time lapse of him tossing that coin about 600 or 700 times until it hit heads 10 times in a row. I feel like that's what my season's like, except I'm calling tails, and every 10 times it's just taking my head. It's hard. It's horrible. Like, people say you have to laugh at this stuff, but how long can you keep laughing? It's not nice being the punchline. It's not nice when you've got to somehow put this all together, find a way, and you can't. Trying my best, trying my very best, and it is draining me, I put my video out this morning. I thought, I know this is going to be a painful day. I'm going to disengage from the game. I couldn't do it. How can you when the phone's going all the time? How can you when the group chat's going, "Oh, you remember that player you sold? He's got the points. Oh, you remember that player you sold? Oh, he's got all the points. Oh, you remember that player you talked about getting hit for? Chose not to. He's got 13 points. Everywhere you look, it's going wrong. And maybe this is what I'm doing wrong. Maybe the problem is I'm just trying too hard to be different instead of just doing solid. I say doing solid moves, like my midfield has got like 4 of the top scorers. Look at my team. Well, it's got 3 of the, Morgan Rogers. I thought he was a solid move, and it's like Morgan Rogers, he's overperformed his XG all season. It was bound to level out. Well, so's Harry Wilson. Harry Wilson is the biggest overperformer of XG in the entire league, and that was before today. That was before this 13-pointer. XGI, sorry. Morgan Rogers had Leeds and Wolves. Like, what can you do except get the great players with the great fixtures? What can you do? It's just not happening. It's just not happening. And there's 10 more bastard game weeks of this to go. 10 more game weeks to talk through this process in excruciating detail. And I just don't know what to do. Like, I'm meant to be like, "Oh, why don't you pick this player for your team this week? Why don't you think about this player? I've got an idea for you, And I just don't know what to do. I've been giving you plan after plan after plan all season. And, I'm getting messages off people. "Oh, your advice has helped me get to the top million I got tonight." This is the problem. Like, the bloke that said that, he rips me every week. He's been ripping me every week all season. And even he now has been reduced to pitying me. Even he is now fearful of taking the mickey. Darius, the D unit, he doesn't take the piss anymore. He just feels sorry for me on stream, And that's when it really sinks in how dire the situation is. And it's like, I don't even think I've done that much wrong. Obviously I've made mistakes, but are there really mistakes? Is it a mistake to get Anthony gone? Everyone's talking about, Tavernier being an obvious signing. Anthony Gordon, he switched up front for Newcastle. Newcastle playing with new impetus in the league, in the cups. Anthony Gordon getting goals, left, right and centre, creating chances, getting the penalties, scoring the penalties. Everything, obviously, the secret of this game is not just getting the players that are doing well, it's predicting the ones that are going to get better. In a home game against Everton, well, you would have thought that was a chance. And what happens? He's a diabolical performance. Massive contribution to the winning goal for Everton. It's, what can you do? In the meantime, Tavernier plays and he does the business. Fair play to him. Could have had Dango, could have had Sade. Morgan Rogers and Christopher Arger, 3 points between them. It's so frustrating because I said to the group chat, I'm not really feeling this Rogers Arger thing. I think it's a punt too far. Should just get Wilson and Van Dijk. That's 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I've had the opportunity to get Wilson and Van Dijk and I've declined and I'm getting punished. But like, you know, these small things are absolutely kicking my ass this season. You know, I take a chance on captaincy. Can I beat the field? Can I beat Erling Haaland with captain? Well, I've gone for Mo Salah, and however you look at it, he beat Haaland this week. The problem is he beat him because Haaland didn't play, and every bastard person in the world has now got Bruno Fernandes as captain. Who goes and gets 26 points for them? You know, you take a chance. It just doesn't work out. You know, because your penalty-taking talisman, his team only scores 5 goals. You get 2 points. Like, what can you do? What can you do? I don't know. This is meant to be a team selection video. I'll put my team up for next week up on the screen. I'll just have to bring it up on my phone because I haven't, once again, really... Like, this is my team for the midweek. I've got Kelleher in goal. Gabriel, Asia, Hill in defence. Semenyo, Fernandes, Salah, Gordon in midfield. Joao Pedro, Thiago and Ekitike up front. I have got Morgan Rogers first sub. 2 other Mukiele Rodon, both apparently injured. 2 free transfers. 0.3 million in the bank. I look at it and I just want Gordon gone. I want Rogers gone. And I know they could get points. But I just want them gone. You know, you just want players that excite you. And these 2 did excite me 2 weeks ago when I wildcarded them in. When I decided to go with this absolute shambles of a defence. Just to get an extra attacking player in. Just to get Rogers over Harry Wilson. Just to get Gordon over Dango. Trying my best, man. Trying my best. And, you know, the problem is I do feel the problem is I'm trying too hard to be differential. You know? I feel like I should just get the players in irrespective of ownership. I should stop. I feel this is the real secret to FPL. The real kind of maturation of the FPL player is when they stop trying to get the cool pick, when they stop trying to be first, when they stop trying to find that, you know, one that says, look at me, I am the great predictor, follow me because I am the predictor. And it's like, maybe that's all I'm doing. Maybe, you know, I'm trying to pop a rating, as I would say in the wrestling. Oh, let's stick Hulk Hogan versus Goldberg on free TV. Could get 50 million on the pay-per-view, but let's get a 7.8 rating. We'll pop the rating with Hogan versus Goldberg at main event. That'll show WWE on Monday Nitro. That'll show WWE. And then what happens, you know, they pop the rating. WWE then, you know, obliterates them, WCW, and buys them up within a couple of years. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I should just stop looking at the expected ownership and start looking at the players. But then I do that and it just doesn't work. Nothing I do works. And now look, who am I? You know, I've got Ekitike. Everyone's going to have him now. Got Salah. Everyone's going to have him now. And here I am again. Oh, no, everyone's going to have my players. Well, if they're going to have them, it means a good players' nightmare. If they're going to have the people you've got, it means there's probably a chance that they're going to get points. You know, I watched Big Andy before, and he's like saying, oh, if Haaland's out, I think I'll go Salah. And I'm thinking, no, Salah is my differential. And then I'm thinking, well, if Big Andy, 750th in the world, is prepared to bring in Salah, maybe I should have a bit of faith, you know? Maybe that's a sign things are going to turn. And all I'm thinking is, you're having such a good season, Andy, man, don't ruin it by copying me. Look at Trout. Look what happened to Trout this week. Just do the obvious, Nightmare. Do the obvious. It's all I'm thinking. But what is the obvious? Who do you bench out of that team? I've got Morgan Rogers on the bench, home to Chelsea. Chelsea's defence is terrible. Anthony Gordon, do I bench him? But he's at home to Man United, and Gordon only performs in the high-profile games where he might impress people that want to buy him. I just don't know who to bench. Tempted to just, buy a player with a crap match just so I can bench someone. Like, look at it and, I actually thought, Harry Wilson's injured. That's not a bad thing. I'll maybe bring him in. And bring him in if he's injured, because then he'll be benched and that's that sorted. This is where my head's gone. This is where my head's at the minute. The corner of that picture keeps popping out my head. I just don't know what to do. I look at that defence and I think it's not that bad, But who can predict Virgil van Dijk getting 3 attacking returns in 3 game weeks? Brutal, brutal. Didn't get Van Dijk because I thought he was going to concede. And then he concedes twice. And I still get punished like this game, man. This game. It does not love me back. I don't know. So I don't know what to do with that team. See some of the flags other people have got, and I think don't do anything, man. Just run with it. Stick Rodgers on the bench. Or Joao Pedro. Captain Salah. And I think, you look at how Newcastle were, maybe I should just captain Fernandes, but I just don't know. The whole point of this video is to say, my head's so mashed, I don't know what to do with my own team. What would you do? If I give you that team, I said, you've got 2 free transfers, you can take up to a -12. What would you do? Bearing in mind, I don't have a wild card. What would you do with my team? Let me know, because I've got, a day to figure it out, and my head is so mashed, I just don't know what to do. Part of me's thinking, go hell for leather, hit. Rock and roll FPL for the rest of the season, but it's just, I feel in the heart of hearts, I'm trying to impress people, and the only thing that's actually going to make me feel comfortable playing this game, I need to regulate my emotions, and going for these extreme wins is not good for me, because that leads to this sort of extreme demise, this extreme pain, this extreme frustration, and I can't cope very well with it. And you can laugh at me for that if you want. Oh, it's just a game. It's not just a game to me. It's not. It's part of my routine, and my routine is important to me for maintaining my mental health, and I'm someone that needs that, so it isn't just a game to me. It's something important to me, and you might not understand that, and you might think it's silly, and I don't really give a flying fuck. It's important to me, and at the minute, this thing that's important to me is just painful. This thing that is important to me is just causing feelings of dread, and I just don't know what the answer is. It's not give up. It's not give up. Because next season, I am determined to have a good season, And if I'm completely honest with you, I think the only thing I can do to manage these emotions is play more boringly. Might not be good TV, might not be good entertainment, but, I have to think of myself. I have to make this game not a dread. Trig says it's about risk management, making sure you're not in a position to feel these crushing lows. And I get it, because I'm feeling these crushing lows every week, and it is not a fun experience. It is painful. And now, since a year ago, the run-in last season, it was red arrow after red arrow, and yes, it was like, oh, I'm doing it to win my mini league, and yes, I won my mini league, the League of Gentlemen. But I could have won my mini league by climbing the ranks, but the confidence had started to go. And then this season, I've kind of attacked with bravado, I've attacked with courage, I've attacked with, the fool's football, the fool's FPL. And now I feel like I'm Kevin Keegan resigning in the toilet at Wembley Stadium because it's all gone wrong. But I'm not resigning. I'm just resigning myself to the fact that I need to play the game differently. I want to be the rebel. I want to be the maverick. I want to be late riser, you know? I love that bloke, late riser. What a manager he is. You know, and I want to be able to play like that. And I try and play like that. But, you know, the one year I got the top 10k ranking, I played boring. I still made a few risks at the right time, you know? But 90% of the season it was boring. And if I'm completely honest, it's the most fun I've ever had in the game, because the only thing that really brings us to joy, if we're honest with ourselves, is doing well by whatever metrics we set that at. And by every metric, I am failing miserably. I mean, it's not even worth the views. You know what? I mean, it is. It's nice to get the views, you know, but I'd rather be doing it because I was doing well. You know, I can be entertaining while doing well. I'd like to think, you know. Hopefully next season we'll get a chance to find out. Anyway, let me know what you do with my team. I'm going to get this video uploaded and I'm going to watch a load of crap on YouTube until 5 in the morning, I think. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.